Hello, hello. Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. How's everybody doing on this Sunday? What are you up to? Today, I had a great day. It's a little bit warmer this weekend than last weekend. Let me try and share this live to the group. Okay, I got it shared. So if you hop on, say hello so I know that you're here. And tell me what you are doing today on this Sunday. Let me add a little bit of light here. There we go. See if anybody comes on. Today I'm going live via StreamYard on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Let me see if anybody's showing up on Instagram. Okay, so today it was Catholic Schools Week at church. And so we brought Ellie and Monroe to Mass, and so Ellie could see her school. She's starting to go to school there in the fall. So it was an open house, so she was able to see her classroom. Hi, Julie. Hi, Dee. So that's what we did for most of the day. And then the rest of the day, I have been doing some computer work. I've been adding things on my Pinterest page. I made headers for two events that I'm going to have in the next couple weeks. Wrote a blog. So that's what I did in the afternoon. Hi, Mom. So today we are going to make this scrapbook layout. I am using the Toadstool Gardens suite, but you can make this layout with, any paper. I recommend something nice and bright and colorful that the papers in the pack have a variety, of coordinating designs. So the reason I chose this paper pack, I'm going to check out the colors here. The reason I chose this paper is because it is part of Sale-a-Bration. So if you look at the Sale-a-Bration catalog, what is Sale-a-Bration? It is Stampin' Up's biggest sale of the year, the biggest promotion. So this paper is here. I've got it marked this time. I was smart and I did it ahead of time. So I'm using this paper. So this paper you can get free. It's 6x6 paper. There's 48 sheets. You can get it free with a $60 purchase. just like you can get any of these things here free with a $60 purchase. Like this one, I just got this one in my latest order, so I'm going to make some cards with that. This is the friendly seagulls. If you saw my YouTube video about that, this is what I used for Ellie's Valentine's. And then um, the fruit salad, which I love, and I've seen some really cute things that people have made with that. But if you spend $60, I will send you the cutting guide at the end of the month for these cards, to make these cards with the fruit salad paper. And that's my special gift to you. You still will get your $60, either a free item with a $60 purchase out of this catalog. So anyway, this is the paper that I'm using because it is so bright and fun. And it actually coordinates with an item that's in the mini catalog, which is this one. It's called the Terrific Toadstools. But you can get the stamp set or the punch or the bundle. The Terrific Toadstools. So they make these mushrooms and things. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using today. Hi, Diana. But you can use, whatever paper that you want. I recommend this because this paper is so gorgeous. And if you're interested in getting this paper for free, you can go to thecraftychemist.stampin'up.net and spend $60, and you can pick this as your free item, or you can pick anything from the catalog as your free item. Here's the papers. I've already got some cuts. I'll probably be using the cut ones, but look at this one. I love this sort of retro vibe of these. So it's got some really nice designs on the front and then a little more tame on the back. Let's see what this one is. It's got stripes on one side and then these little dots on the other. I like this wood grain and then this sort of ombre toadstools. This one is fun. Isn't that one fun? And then the little, I don't, they actually look like bacteria to me under a microscope. I don't know what else, but I'm a scientist, right? Crafty chemist. So that's the first thing I think of. I think this is my favorite out of the pack. And then the back is this really pretty green kind of grass or leaves. And then this one's fun with the mushrooms. I love this like orange mushrooms. There was a Midsummer Murder where, I don't know, a mushroom like this was the I don't want to say the reason for the murder, but it was really involved in the murder. I don't know, that were just totally reminds me of that. So if anybody loves Midsummer Murders, it reminds me of that. And then I really like this pink kind of hatched mark. I think that this layout would be good with the Enjoy the Life. Is that what it was called? Enjoy the Life paper pack, the really bright one. That would be fun also with this. So okay, who's ready to get started? Let me know who's going to craft along. And while I'm waiting for you guys to respond, I wanted to show you, I did make this set, and I'm thinking about doing a live where I make these. It's kind of a one sheet wonder to make all of these cards. But it's, how do I say a one sheet wonder? I took one sheet of each paper design to make these. So I made 2, 4, 6, I made 8 papers or 8 cards. And I used one of each of the papers in there to make these. So these are really, really fun. And then, a little bit of the stamp set. This was the another card I made with these. I really, really love this set. So far, this has been my favorite set out of the catalog. I love this little Z-fold card. And then here is the stamp set. This stamp set doesn't have dies. It has a punch, which I did find the punch. I know during my catalog walkthrough I didn't have it, but I found it now. Okay, here it is. I was using it to weigh down my lights here because it had my one light that's got an arm has an sandbag to keep it from toppling over because of the long arm, and I was using this in my sandbag. So okay, let's get started. Hi Don, that's a good idea, Julie. And you know there is a set of tools and things, that would be cute here. That has like a hammer and a saw or something like that. So if you did do the bottom in like wood grains, you could do the saws and the various tools there. Okay, so I am going to start with the base, and I just use basic white for the base. I'm going to put these aside. I'll put one here for right now. Let's see. I'm just using some basic white, but depending on your papers, you might want to use a different color. Um, I thought because this was so bright that the white would kind of tone it down a little bit. At least that was kind of my thoughts. Okay. Um, so these pieces, this is what we need to start cutting. These pieces are, well, I actually cut them 3 inches, but they're 2 3/4 wide by 1. So 1 by 2 3/4. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 32 pieces of that. Okay. So let's start cutting our pieces. One thing you want to think about, maybe, depending on your pieces, and what made me think about it is this one here. This one I wanted, you see how the stripes all go a long ways? So when you cut this paper, you want the 2 3/4 to be going landscape. Okay. And I did the same thing with this the purple stripe. That's about it. Okay, so let's start cutting some of these. Let's make sure we've got one of each of the papers. This one we already got. This one. What's this one? Okay. Okay, so I think we've got these 6. I don't think I used any of the wood grain in mine. Where's the little, here go these ones. Okay. So again, what did I say? We needed 32. So I'm going to cut this. And what did I say? These were 2 3/4. I want to just make sure if I cut them all. Yeah, 2 3/4. So we just need to sort of cut along. So while we're cutting these, tell me if you are a fan of this mushroom, the mushroom theme. So many things are mushrooms. It seems to be on trend. I was just at Joanne Fabrics today. I stopped by there. I went to Michael's and Joanne Fabrics after church, and Joanne's has a whole sort of display of mushroom things. So that must be sort of the trend. One thing that on these, I should be doing like 2 strips of each one because you've got the front and the back. So I'm going to cut another strip of these. I like the mushrooms. I think this would be cute with some gnomes. So if you have any of the close to my heart gnomes, we had the gnomes, no, all the seasons of the gnomes or whatever. Um, but there was also that small set of gnomes that was part of the, I think it was the National Card Making Celebration. You could use those little ones. I think they would be cute with this too. Cottage core, is that what this is called? Cottage core? Or maybe that's the name of the products at Joann's. I was a little bit surprised because I mean my Joann's, I think it's a fairly big one. Um but it looked like as things were selling out, they weren't restocking because a lot of that stuff in the front, normally where they put the seasonal stuff, a lot of it was bare. So I'm hoping that that's not going to be one of the stores that they close. So remember, I'm doing 32 of these pieces. So right now I cut 2 strips at 1 inch, and then I'm cutting 4, pieces out of that. 2 for the front side and 2 for the back side for right now. And then we'll see where we are. The mushroom thing is called cottage core. Somebody, some other company that's got a lot of those mushrooms. What's the company that has it has some mushrooms, but it has like houses, like little houses, like a little village. I don't think it's the one that's got the moose. Who's the moose that Vicky has, the Scottish moose? Um, I don't think it's that company. Okay. Riley and Company. Does Riley and Company have a like a mushroom village somebody's got like a mushroom village. And I just remember it from, remember during COVID when all of the companies were doing their, online videos. I remember, and she was somebody who was really good at coloring. Okay, so it is Riley and Company that's got the mushroom houses. I mean, it seemed kind of like it might be, but okay, let's see how much. So you have 4, 8, 12, and then 24. Okay, what did I say we needed? 32. So let's cut another few. So let's see. These are 1 inch. Takes a little bit of prep, but then it comes all together at the end. And you can do this with 12 by 12 paper if you want. This set just happens to be 6 by 6, but actually how I started off designing this page is I took this paper, cut it into 1 inch strips, and then I cut them in half and had a 3 inch and 3 inch, and then started playing around with that. But if you do 3 inches and 3 inches, you don't really have any white space between them. So that's why I cut them down to 2 3/4. Okay. And it doesn't hurt to have a couple extra because sometimes the placement, you want a little bit more options so that the color and the placement, is balanced. So I'm just going to finish out these pieces. Okay. I love this paper though. When I saw the Sale-a-Bration catalog, this was truthfully the only thing that I wanted. Not the only thing, but I mean, it was the first, like, I must have this. I must have this. Okay, so I like to keep these sort of in order or together because it makes it easier to spread the designs out evenly. Okay. You can put the other sides to show also, so that you have both sides of your paper. I just find it easier to spread them out so you don't get them all like use all your one papers on one layout and then don't have any left for the other layout, or they're not spaced evenly and that sort of thing. Okay, so now let's look at this one. So I put this at 5 inches. So what I used here is I did use some Close to My Heart shimmer trim. I know that you can't get this anymore, but I really thought that the color was perfect, and so I really wanted to use it. Okay, this is sort of self-adhesive shimmer tape, basically. But if you don't have shimmer trim, you can just cut a 1/2 inch piece of cardstock. And I would recommend for this set, the Melon Mambo. Okay. This is actually Wildberry, Close to My Heart's Wildberry. So that's what I'm going to use. Who still has shimmer trim left? Okay, so what I'm going to do is the bottom of the, let's see, I think it's the top of the shimmer trim is at 5 inches. Oh no, the bottom of the shimmer trim is at, let me see on here. Looks like the top of the shimmer trim is at 5, although, yeah, so the top of the shimmer trim is at 5. So what was your favorite shimmer trim color? I really liked Bluebell. I know I don't use this often either. That's why I'm like, I'm going to use it for this one because I just thought the color was perfect. Okay, and so you can see it's sticky. I'm going to put the top at 5, and I'm just using the Versamat here to line it up. And then trim it here. And then trim this side. Let's see if I can do the same over here. I miss shimmer trim, and I am going to, I think, make a recommendation for Stampin' Up. You know, they take requests. I'm going to mention shimmer trim because I love it and I know a lot of people love it. But again, if you don't have shimmer trim, just cut a 1/2 inch piece of cardstock. Or a zip strip if you still have a zip strips. The zip strips were the top pieces of the paper packs at Close to My Heart. The back side had all of the details of the paper pack, but the front side had a pretty design that you could use. Okay, so now I'm going to just trim up the little plastic backing here. Always leave a little bit of the plastic on your shimmer trim if you still have it. Okay, now to get this look, we're going to place 4 pieces across, and I did about a 1/4 inch here. I might do a little bit less because these in here were maybe more 1/8 of an inch. So on this row, you do four whole strips. On this row, cut one strip in half, put half on one side, half on the other, and then you have 3 full pieces. And then this row, there's 4 pieces, and then this last row, you cut one piece in half, put it on each side, and then put 3 pieces. Okay. And I did the same on this side. Okay. I didn't alternate or whatever. So I did 4 whole ones at the top, and then 3 whole ones with a split piece on the second one, 4 whole ones on the third row, and then 3 whole ones, and then a split piece on the last row. Yeah, looks like some people still have some, so that's good. Okay, so let's just start laying these out. I'm going to put one here. I don't know. I was gonna do similar from what I did over there, but I might mix it up a little bit. Okay. And I didn't mention this either, but you see how it's staggered? So the whole piece here is centered on the um, openings between the other pieces. And that makes sense because you've got the half pieces on the side. I just wanted to bring that up as you are trying to move your pieces a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of lay them out. And then mess around with them. Okay. And sometimes it's easier to see when you're looking at the live rather than me looking at it in real time, but this here color-wise, I think it's looking pretty good. Hmm. Okay, now I need a couple pieces that I cut in half. So this one I might cut in half for here. So to cut this in half, 2 3/4. So 1. So 3/4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/8. So let's do 3/8. 1 3/8. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. Okay. 1 3/8 to cut this in half. I'll put that here and here, like this. And then I need something down here. What color? What color? I think this one. 1 3/8. 1 3/8. So the 3/8 is like the medium line before the half. Okay. Might need to change these two. There we go. Okay, that's looking not too bad. Now let's do this side. And let me know if there's any of those that you think we need to move. So I got the 4 whole pieces here. The 3 half pieces. Another 4 whole pieces. I really love the mushroom, the whole mushroom one, so I want to get those in here. And then at this point is where, remember when I was saying it's nice to have options, because I've got a lot of these mushrooms left, so I can't use this one because it's right there. I could use that one, but okay, I'm going to use this one for there and there. So let's cut that in half. 1 3/8. And then I'll cut this one 1 3/8. Oh yeah, the rose gold shimmer trim was really nice. You are right, Diana. I think I actually have some rose gold left. Okay. I'm basically happy with that placement. So now all we have to do is tape these down. Okay. I am using the Stamp and Seal to adhere these down. And I think it's going to work. You want to, before you adhere these down, you want to kind of make sure that you've got everything spaced out before you start adhering stuff down. And I've got, like I said, about a 1/4 inch on the edge, and then maybe a little bit less than a 1/4 inch on the inside pieces. Okay. And I'm doing this about 1/8 of an inch from below the shimmer trim. You could put these down with the Tombow green glue, but scrapbooking, I prefer, adhesive like this rather than glue. I had made a decision not to use the wood in this, but only, I don't know why, just because I didn't want it. So you could definitely use it if you want. Okay, now for this next row, I would start with the center one because this one's definitely right in the center. And then it's about 1/8 of an inch down from the row above it. There we go. I think this, really, I think that this layout can have so many different looks depending on what paper you choose. Because right now, this is really bright and fun, but like Julie says, if you use all wood, it would be a little masculine. I am lining up on the edges. If I was thinking if you did the wildflower, the new yellow paper collection in here, those ones are pretty much all Daffodil Delight, in color. So it would be much more subtle layout. So really, depending on what you choose, I think these could really have different looks. So if you do make one, please post it so we can see what they look like. Because it gives so many great ideas. Like I said, I think that the that Enjoy Life paper would be nice. Okay, we're almost done with the left side. And then after this, we'll kind of get into some of the stamping. Most of the time in this layout is just cutting these pieces and putting them down. So if you space it out pretty good, you should have about, an eighth of an inch at the bottom, like you do at the top. So that's why I really recommend kind of just doing a little bit of placement before you start gluing. And it also helps to make sure that you've got your color spread out. So you don't have, three of these bacteria papers squares near each other. Okay, they're not bacteria. And I hope that that is not offending anybody from wanting to buy this paper because I said that, but I think it was, biology, I will say biology was not my strong suit. Chemistry was, but I think it's bacillus, bacillus. I don't know. You've got the little, they're clumps and they kind of go around together. Okay, so we did that one. Let's do this one. Okay, starting over here. I I didn't, but I was really thinking about doing it. I th- I was gonna do that today, but then I thought, well, these are all 1 by 2 and 3/4, so I didn't. But I can tonight because I'm caught up on my other blog post. The blog post I wrote today was about the February paper pumpkin because I did not post it yet. I had started it, but I didn't post it because before January 11th, I could not find a picture of. They usually they usually provide like a square. I don't want to say advertising picture or media picture that we can use. I couldn't find it, and they have the paper pumpkin is a separate website, and to me, it is not very clear. Oh shoot, that one went down. Um, I don't know. I can never find stuff. So I was waiting for the 11th to come so that I could find that graphic. And then I just never went back and did it. So that's the blog I wrote today, but I'll write a blog post about this also. That should not be hard at all. Oh, there I go. We're almost there. 2 more rows and we got it. I'm trying to keep them even here, but I'm trying to go fast so I don't take too much time. Okay. Here I see that one is a little bit crooked. But this Stampin' Seal is pretty tight, it really secure. Secure, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. The last row. This pink paper with the mushrooms is so pretty too. Okay, and this one should match the one that's two above it. Now we just got to do the end pieces. Here we go, one more. So if you need some strong adhesive, this Stampin' Seal is pretty strong. Okay, so now I have this Granny Apple Green here behind. And this piece is 11 inches wide and 6 inches tall, 6 by 11. So you could use an 8.5 by 11 piece. And Granny Apple Green is part of the Brights. Let's see if I have any in here. I do. Oh boy, I only got one. I've used a lot of this. Let's see if I've got any 12 by 12. Okay, I do. So what I say was 6 by 11. So this is 11 wide. And so 6. I'm just gonna go here. I did say 6. Let me make sure because I already cut that. Yeah, 6. Okay. 6 by 11. So I've got that. Now let's do this one. 6 inches by 11. You can use other colors if you want. Again, use whatever color matches the paper that you're using. And it's nice that on each of the paper packs, not the card stock, but on each of these, it says like the colors are early espresso, fresh freesia, granny apple green, melon mambo, poppy parade, and pumpkin pie. So you can use any of those colors. And then if you look at this, I put it right up against the center and then left like the 1 inch around. And then this one, I did right up against the center and left the white on the around the edges. Okay. So Let's adhere these down. And so I put it right up against the shimmer trim, and then right up against the edge here. Okay. Okay, that looks nice. And then we'll do the same on this one. Okay. So I'm putting this right up against the shimmer trim here. Oops. And then right up against the edge. There we go. Okay. Let's look at this side. So this side, that's over here. I put a 4x6 portrait here and a 4x6 landscape there. And I've got my little photo placeholders. If you don't have these, you can just use your real pictures, or just use, white sheets, or you can just remember what goes there. I like to put these here because, 2 years later when I go to use this layout, um, I like to know what I was thinking. Now I'm going to place this. You see how I have it? I have a little bit of this end piece showing, and it's pushed down a little bit below the shimmer trim. Okay. So I'm going to put it right about there. Okay. And then this one, the portrait one, I'm going to center it on the remaining space, and then have about a 1/4 inch from the top of the shimmer trim. And then that leaves a little bit of space that you can write a title. Okay. And let's do this side over here. I just, mirrored it. I did the portrait one here, and then the landscape one here. Okay. Same thing, I made sure I left a little bit of space here. I want to be able to see this strip on the left of it, and I put it about halfway down into the first row of strips, and then this one. And again, it leaves a little bit of room for the rest of your title or your decorations there. Yeah, I love these colors. I mean, again, that's why it was like the first thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to get was, I don't know, I just thought, and these, if you guys know my style when I do my own pages, and that these are not my typical colors, right? But I love them. So, okay, so now let's do some stamping. I'm gonna move these real quick. I'll just put this here for reference. We're gonna make some of these. And I'll show you how I did this. We're not doing too bad on time. Now, I will tell you that I do not have all of these colors in Stampin' Up! Inks. These are the Stampin' Up! Inks that I have. I do have pumpkin pie and Poppy Parade, which I didn't really use, but that's about it. So I did use the corresponding sort of close to my heart colors. Okay, I'm working on my how many Stampin' Up! Colors that I have. So I wanted to show you some of these, some of the things that I did with these. This is my favorite mushroom, is this guy here. And let me find my block. Okay, so I did on these ones, I did a little rock and roll technique. So we'll talk about that. So what I did is I'm using the pumpkin, close to my heart pumpkin. Okay, and inking this up. And then, oh, I almost dropped that. And then I took the wild berry, which is like melon mambo, and I rolled the edges in this ink in the wild berry. So when you stamp it, you kind of get a mixture of those two colors. It's hard to tell on that. It will kind of clear up a little bit. I did a lot more wild berry on that one. Also, I think last time I might have used nectarine. Okay. Let's try it again with this one. Maybe not be quite so dramatic with the wild berry. Okay, so I ink it up with the pumpkin. The one thing you have to kind of watch out for is you don't want to mix your colors too much. So I'm just going to do the edges. Again, you just kind of want the edges a little bit. And they call it rock and roll because you kind of rock it and roll it around. That's this one here. Okay, now let's make these guys. Those ones I didn't rock and roll. I did it on the whole color. So we'll do one wild berry and one I did in, I think it's wisteria. It's the wild berry. And then let me find the wisteria. Leave this one on my. The Stampin' Up! Colors are pumpkin pie, melon mambo, and the purple was fresh freesia in Stampin' Up! Colors. Okay. And then on this one, I did use a fresh freesia for the bigger mushroom. I did see somebody in the demonstrator group, and if you become a demonstrator, first of all, there's a really great special going on right now. But if you become a demonstrator, you see all of the samples that other demonstrators create. And somebody created mushrooms that were um, like I would say realistic mushrooms using like all of the browns and grays. And it really was striking. Like it's fun in these colors, but the one that she did in all of the like browns and grays was really, really striking. Oh yeah, I stamped these ones and they look a lot better than these ones. But you know what? What we find is the close to my heart inks I feel take time to smooth out. I don't know what that's called. I know that Gina K always says her things have a smoothing agent in them. And so I'm thinking that the Stampin' Up ones do too. Okay, the last ones are these orange mushrooms. I'll use a pumpkin, and these are like sets of 3. I did fussy cut these, and they are a little bit. I spent a little bit of time and inked up the edges once I fussy cut them. So this one, I'm going to leave space because I did. These are stamped all together. Okay, then there's another one here, so I'm going to do 2. Okay. And then let's do for the stems, I used espresso. And the Stampin' Up color is early espresso. We've got to do the green grass too, I guess. So I'm using espresso. The Stampin' Up color is early espresso. I don't know if my head's gonna get under here. I should be okay, but it lines up perfectly if you. I can't really put my head under, so. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. I'm gonna leave out the espresso because I have the other stems in that. Okay, so I need 1 of the big stem and 2 of the little stems. I did kind of ink up some of these after I cut them out. I kind of went over it with some of the ink to make sure that it was colored in well. Okay, let's see. So 2 of these ones. Okay, that was the last of the espresso that I used. And then these ones I used mink, close to my heart mink. And let me see what the color is on. I'm using mink. And the paper pack, it says, oh, that doesn't say. Not, at least not on there, but there is a gray in there. Because remember the wood grain? I don't remember what gray it is. There's a little piece of something on there. I kind of messed up my ink pad. I used a finger dauber that was apparently not the right color for it. So I have to go and kind of clean that off a little bit. Okay, and now I need, the last thing I need are 3 green apple green of these mounds. I tried to use a lot of, you know, the stamps so that you could see what they kind of all look like. Okay, and I'm using green apple from close to my heart. What is granny apple green? And Stamp It Up colors. I'm just gonna try and fit them all on this sheet here. And I will fussy cut them. I probably will not spend as much time as I would as I did these ones. Okay. Let's clean these up. And then I want to show you the punch. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to punch these because of how I stamp them on here. I also said I was going to try and test the paper. Okay, so you can see that there is a punch for this one and then for this one. Let's see how I punched it. I'm not able to, it's upside down, but you can see that it would fit that one. See, can I do it on this one? I don't. Oh, so I can't because I messed it up, but that's, let's see if I'm able to punch it in here. It's usually easier than this, but I wasn't planning on using the punches, so I didn't. There we go. There's a punch. A lot of people punch and then stamp. Let's do this one. There we go. That makes it so much easier. These other ones we're gonna have to fussy cut. Let's try this one. And the nice thing about the punches, and you'll see compared to the fussy cut, is you don't have any of the white edge around it. which these ones I'm gonna have to cut really close. Um, let's see if I can get there is one for oh, it's the wrong way. But there is one for this stem there. Okay, I just wanted to show you how those work. Now let's kind of fussy cut some of these out. And remember, the key to fussy cutting is kind of keeping your scissors straight, as straight as you can, and turning the paper into it. And I am cutting it with no white because I didn't want any of the white edges. Usually I cut with a little bit of the white edge. But these ones I didn't want there to be a white edge. So I'm cutting right up against it. If you do cut and you leave a little bit of white, you can always go back with the ink and, kind of ink up the edges a little bit so you don't see the white. Because when you cut, if you have dies and you cut, it leaves a white edge. So, I mean, it's common to leave the white edge. Yeah, rough trim the smaller bits and then punch. The one thing that's hard is you need enough of an edge, you need enough white space so that you can maneuver the shape so that it fits in the hole. You don't want to cut it too small because then you can't really guide the stamped image very well into there, into the punch. Okay. But I wanted to see if the punch works on any of the papers. And I don't know, did anybody see, like, I think those are too small. So I don't think that the punch punches out anything from the papers. Okay. Let's see. We're almost got these all cut out. Now, the the bundles from Stampin' Up usually come with dies. There are some that come with punches. And there are a few that you can choose a die or punch. You can choose which one you like. I think that was one of the questions on if you came to my New Year's Eve virtual crop, one of the questions in my scavenger hunt was basically name a bundle that you could get either the dies or the punch. I won't tell you the answers, but you can look up the catalog. That's in the core catalog. Speaking of the core catalog, a new core catalog is coming out in May. And I am going to the Stampin' Up convention. So I'll get first look at it. I'm really excited about it. And I'll get first choice at the products. Can't wait to see what the new in colors are going to be. Anybody have a guess about the new in colors? I mean, we had such I will say, like, summer colors this time around, the peach pie and the shy shamrock, and that I think they're going to go a little bit darker. There was more jewel tone Let me see if I can punch this one out now that I've got it. Oh, I don't need to. Um, More jewel tone for the 2023, 2025 ones. Now see, I don't have enough space to do that. Um, so I don't know. I'm thinking maybe some more brights, maybe colors like this, or maybe autumn colors. That would be kind of nice. Blues and darker greens, some earthy colors. Yeah, that would be nice. I haven't, been involved long enough to know the trend of what they do. Like, since they had springy colors this time, are they not going to do any light colors or we'll see. We're almost there. I'm saving those ones for last because those ones are the hardest because of the skinny stems. And I did cut them all as one. And then all we got to do is put these on the layouts. Um, if you don't, if you don't want to stamp and cut all of these things, Stampin' Up! Does have a variety of ephemera packs. Um, I just got several new packs from the new catalog. There's like a birthday set, there's a spring set. Um, and so they've got nice images that you just punch out and put on your layout. Also, some of the new scrapbooking sets have sticker sheets. So, if you get one of those, you can just use the sticker sheets. I am going to do a live with the new scrapbook kits. There's 3 new kits, so I'm going to be working those into the rotation here. Okay, and again, if you want to leave this white in the middle, you can. I wanted to cut them out. But they're so tiny. I think I did leave them a little bit thicker and then I inked up the edges. Almost there, guys. Trying to go fast because I know it's not fun to watch people cut. I could have had these cut out, I guess, but I feel like seeing the stamps in action are part of the experience, right? I'm gonna put this on here to flatten that out. It's the last one. These ones are so cute. Does anybody know what these kind of mushrooms are called? I know there's a lot of these in like food, right? Don't they throw some of these little ones into stuff, into like stir fry and stuff? I'm not a mushroom lover like to eat. I love it on on the, scrapbooks and things, but I'm not a mushroom lover. I don't eat mushrooms. The Pantone color of the year that I saw is like It's almost like this espresso. It was like a brown. Um, I don't really want to say what I thought it looked like. Although, okay, I do think it looked a little bit, I don't know, like something. But when I first saw it, I thought, oh, that would be really pretty in my bedroom. So I don't know. And I meant to take a screenshot of it because it was pretty in them. But then the more I looked at it, the more I thought, looks kind of like mud. Does anyone know what the name of it was? It's definitely a brown. Yeah, well look it up. Look it up, Vicky. See what the name of it is. Because it's like a nice like a rich brown color. And it had another color. I want to say maybe like a magenta hint or something in it. Okay. Okay. There we go. So everything's cut out. Okay, so I want to show you what I was talking about. Let me try and get that flattened out. So I took so where's my toffee? I've got an espresso. I'll use this one. Okay, so like see here how it's a little bit of white on the edge. I'm gonna take the espresso and just kind of ink it up a little bit so you don't see that white. Okay. And then these ones, I'm just gonna go over the browns to try and get that little white off the edges. Woo. Another thing you could do is use your marker, use a marker. There we go. Just to get a little bit of that white off. And this is a step you don't necessarily have to do. Okay, now we're just ready to layer it on and then we're good. Okay, let's see. I'm going to get this piece here. And we'll put these together. I did pop these up because I wanted them to stand up a little bit from the background. Okay, so I'm going to take the green, one of the green bases. You can see these ones, this one I kind of popped behind a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit of the adhesive just on the base. Stick this here. This one, um, the bottom of the stem, I did put, oh no, I put that one on the front. Well, let's put it behind a little bit. And then I'll get the wild berry. Like that. And then the bigger mushroom. And then the one that I kind of rock and rolled there. Okay, now let's make that stand, pop that up. And I did put the dimensionals kind of on top of where the overlay was, just so that kind of gave those another thing to hold it down. Put a mini dimensional here on the end. Okay. I'm not going to cut a title for this one because I'm not sure what I want it to say. I tried to use a kind of a mushroom theme. I actually Googled like mushroom titles or something like that. You know what? I'm going to put a couple of these minis on the top of these mushrooms if I can. And I got Wild and Free. There are other titles that you could use that are kind of cute. Anybody have any ideas for mushroom titles? Post them in the comments. The one thing about this one is that it had to be kind of short. That was kind of my biggest deciding factor. So, okay, I'm going to put this one kind of right here. I don't want it to go over the pictures because obviously I don't have the pictures there yet. I didn't take the backs off of these. Okay, and then let's do this one. Okay, I did another one of the green bases. Let's pop this one up. Fairy ink caps. That sounds like it could be. Fairy ink caps. That sounds cute too. Now these ones, both of these mushrooms I did on top, so I don't have to worry about tucking them underneath. Like these two I tucked underneath. Now I'm going to make sure that I don't have any foam squares on the picture because I want to be able to, remove this. So don't stick it down on top of your, unless your picture's there. If your picture's already there, then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to use this one and here. Put a little bit of adhesive on the top and the bottom. Now these are supposed to go kind of right in the center there. And then I will put some dimensionals on the back of here. but I'm not going to take off, I'm not going to take off the back of this one because it's going to be over this picture and I don't have my picture there yet. And then the same thing with this little one, this little purple one. Okay. Put adhesive all on the back of that one. And a little bit here. I am going to put a dimensional on the back of this, but I'm not going to take that off because it's going to be on top of this picture. So until I put the picture down, I'm going to leave that, the backing on that one. Okay, and then the last one over here. I did this set. So let's put, and I did it right on top. I didn't tuck anything under, so put adhesive on the bottom of that one. And then a little bit at the top so I can attach it to the mushroom. And again, I'm putting it here kind of in the center. Let's pop these up. And I'm going to leave, I did put one on here. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to see where it hits on my page here. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one here and then I'm going to take all the rest of them off. And that one I'm leaving on because it's going to overlap with the picture that I don't have on there yet. Make sure that this one in the middle is to the end, right? It's not on the picture. So I still can remove this thing without it being stuck down on anything. Okay. See how I can kind of remove this one? And then this one I kind of just glued, not glued, I adhered to the bottom, and then these ones, if you can see, I adhered it to the top of the purple so that I didn't have to add any dimensionals or anything. Okay. And then for the finishing touch, I added, if I can find them, I had them out here. They're little gems. Here they are. I found them. These are called flat adhesive backed pearls. And I picked these because they have a little bit of an opalescent coloring to them. These are 160449. I'll put a small one here. Put a larger one down here. And they kind of pick up the colors of whatever's around it. Also, they are a little bit, I don't want to say misshapen, but they're not ovals. Okay, and then this side I'm only going to put two. Put one here. and then one up here. Because we want it to be an odd number. And I've got 3 over here and 2 over here. The fairy rewards your way, CTM. I don't think I had those ones, but I know people who did get that one. Any of those like fairy or gnomes or any of those things would be great to use with this paper. So, and again, on this one, I did put the title Wild and Free. I'm going to have to think of some other title to put on this one, but I'm not going to bother you by cutting something out for these. Okay, any questions about this? I will write a blog up tonight. I'll try and finish it tonight with the measurements for you. Remember, this paper is free with a $60 purchase, and it can be anything on the website and an online and exclusive, things from the new catalog, the scrapbooking brochure, anything. You can select this. The papers. Now the stamp set is in the catalog, but there's all these other things that you can select. Okay, I just did a sample layout with this one, and I made a TikTok using this paper. I don't think that this looks like much in the catalog, but I think the scrapbook layout was gorgeous. And then remember when I was saying about the ephemera packs? These are from the ephemera packs. So these are not stamped. This I stamped, but these are ephemera packs. So, oh, and here's these seagulls are in the Sale-a-Bration. And they're having a special join special. Again, I'm really looking for one more person to join. That's my goal, is to have one more person to join. And you get to select, well, first of all, you get $125 a product for $99. And then you can get these 2 sets of markers plus this exclusive stamp set, or you can get 30 more free dollars in product with your starter kit. And there's no obligation for, selling. Just be your own customers is enough. So if you're interested, let me know. Next week we're making these boxes, these chocolate boxes. Let me get out some chocolate. I've got them tied up really good so the dog doesn't get it. I don't like to have chocolate in the house now anymore. Okay. So these fit like a Hershey candy bar. And they look like a Hershey candy bar. I don't know if you can see. We're making these next week. I've also made a card with the same technique. So this is a card. But this, I wanted to make a chocolate box. Usually at Valentine's Day, I make a treat box or something. So I wanted to turn this card into a treat box. Okay, so this is next week, and it's a nice, just general like gift box. So if you don't want it to be Valentine's Day, if you want to make it a birthday or something, you can decorate the top differently. Okay. Okay, well, thanks for joining me. And I will see you next week. I doing the chocolate box Thursday. I am doing the paper pumpkin craft along. So if you've got the Valentine's paper pumpkin, the January kit, we're gonna put them together on Thursday. So grab your pack and craft along with me. Okay, see you next week. Bye.